You can do Zoom.com too.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, ET. VBFVQ is the pear deck.
Victorious bandanas form victorious quizzes.
Behind her, I see a two.
Hello, ET.
Behind her, I see a two.
Do you see ET behind me?
Yeah.
Yes. That's your brother.
No,
That's your brother.
That me.
Hello.
That's you in the picture? Hello.
I see her.
So I figured out how to turn off the waiting room so I don't have to let you in every time. There's a button.
Or can I push it?
Can you push it?
Yeah.
You don't have the button.
I want that
You have to come to my house to do it.
Okay, baby.
All right. Why don't you take off running this way? Maybe you'll get here before the session's over.
What letter is that?
Come to Donaldson,
Okay.
McGavick Pike,
Okay.
close to Mason's house. Is Mason on here? Hey, Mason, what's your address? I'm going to ride by your house on Windermere because I ride on this side of Lebanon. I mean, on McGavick. I need to ride on your side. You can text me your number. I'm going to ride by your house.
It's the one with the white brick. It's like you got a
White? Did you say white brick?
Yeah.
We're getting our brick painted gray. I'll text you when I'm riding by and you can come out and wave.
Okay.
But you cross McGavick to the other side, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because you're on the other side of McGavick than me. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. All righty.
Yeah, we're by the fields. Like the
Yes. That's what yeah. Hey guys, remember tomorrow we won't have assignments to work on because it's a school holiday. And we'll be back on Monday. Yeah, it's Good Friday. We'll be back on Monday. And next Monday afternoon, we're going to have a 6th grade wide gym kit with everybody on math. And then on Tuesday, Miss Profader, Miss Boersma, and me. And then on Tuesday, Miss Schaefer, Miss Quinn, and I are going to do one for the 8th grade on literacy on Tuesday afternoon.
I'm excited.
So y'all can show your skills.
Sorry.
I've learned from her that she does it.
All right. If you've not gotten to join in yet, if you can go ahead.
All right.
It's VBFVQ. And also, if you're behind on Ed puzzles, if you can try to catch those up over the weekend so that you're up to speed on where we are. Because I'm trying to give you things on there that help with what we do on here. We only have 30 minutes a day.
I'm not watching a single ad, Papa.
Okay, well then make sure your friend James does.
Oh, here I watched them all for me.
Okay. All right, I'm going to start the pear deck in just a second. Oh, I just started it. All right. So let me move on past that. Just a second. All right, real quick reminder from yesterday on here. As you remember yesterday, we talked about, hang on, I'm gonna move this button out of my way. It's in the way. Okay. If you will tell me what is the safer formula to do volume of prisms? What is the safer? Type that on there. What is the safer formula than just length, width, height? To keep from having misconceptions.
I'll look over it. And,
Hey, Kimani, are you in with us?
Yeah.
If we
Looks like you're reading a magazine or something.
push it forward right now, but I think it would be a great start.
Hey, hi, Eli. Are you on there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm glad you're joining us.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I don't know what's going on.
All right. So, yeah, it's base, capital B, times the height, right? And that base is referring to the bottom layer. So remember, that's always the safer way to say that in a solid, the base is the bottom layer. And I like to think of it literally like say you get a box of candies, like chocolates, and there's more than one layer of them. Think of it like that. Because that's literally for all the volumes, all you're doing is using a formula to figure out what's the base of it and then how tall is it. For example, if I have so you know what, when you're talking about building a building and they talk about its footprint, like this new skyscraper is going to have a footprint of 1 mile square. That means how much land it's going to take up, right? So if it's a 2-story building, that's fine. If it's a 4-story building, that's double the amount of volume, right? You just go up with more layers, more levels. Okay, so that's all volume is doing. And it's that way on all of the ideas of volume. It's just figure out the formula for the base times how tall it is. All right. Yesterday we talked about this. Tell me, is this a cube or not? Is this a cube or not?
It's
Give
not.
me a second. There's somebody here. I'll be right back. Hey there, I'm teaching class. Okay. Yes, my wife has it inside there right now. Thank you.
Wait, can they hear me? I'm coming to your school.
There's somebody there. All right. So, correct. It is a rectangular prism, but it is not a cube because it doesn't go back 3, right? So a rectangular prism that has all 3 sides the same is a cube, all right? So if it had been 3 by 3 by 3, that would be a cube, like a Rubik's Cube. Would a 4 by 4 by 4, has anybody ever seen a Rubik's Cube that has 4 of them instead of 3 rows?
Yeah.
Okay, is that also still a cube though?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's got the same width, length, and height. So yeah, it is. All right. Yesterday we did this. Could someone just talk through what we did here? Who would like to talk through what we did here? Michaela, will you talk us through it?
So basically what we had to do was multiply the inches times 4 inches times 7.5 inches.
Right. So we did 7.5 inches times 4 inches. And when we did that, what did that do for us? When I multiply those two together, what does that do?
Give us the base.
Okay, gives us the big B area of base, right? Or it's bottom layer. And this is the last time we're talking about prisms just right now because we're about to go on to triangular bases. So yeah. And then what did you do with that number? Okay, like what do you do with that number?
You have to take that and multiply it times the length. Yeah.
So take the bottom layer and then by the height. And the only thing about this one that made it any more difficult is that it's got fractions, right? You don't have to respond on there. Even if you did, that's fine. Okay. So what about this one? Everybody got this one right yesterday. How come? Graham, why did everybody get this one right so quickly yesterday?
I think the main reason is because it's whole numbers and it doesn't require fraction or decimal multiplication since we already know the formula.
Yeah, okay. So on your hair deck, if you will tell me what is the volume of this prism?
What?
And everybody is saying 120, and that's correct because 10 times 3 is 30, 30 times 4 is 120. It's 120 inches cubed or cubic inches, right? Hey, Mr. Thomas, can you tell us why it's cubic inches?
Because it's a prism.
It's a prism.
And
Hey,
you have
ask Eli to tell us.
Eli, tell. I don't know why. I'm not a sixth grader.
Yeah, you do. Think about it. Okay, it's cubic inches because, Eli, what are we literally measuring it for?
A prism.
And it's got little tiny cubes inside it, right?
Yes.
So we literally call it cubic inches because it's how many cubes fill it up. That's right. All right. And everybody was correct. 120 cubic inches. And there's two ways I can write that. I can write it literally out, or I can write inches with a little superscript 3. Wish Fred was here so he could reiterate it for us. All right. Did we do this one yesterday? Yes. Did we do this one yesterday, Kylie? Do you remember?
I think so. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. We did it.
So it was 3 times 2 1/4.
We did.
And that would be 6 3/4. We did. And then 6 3/4 times 4 1/2. And that'd be your answer. Okay. Now I think this is where we left off. No, we did this too. So moving on. So here's where we are. We actually got to here yesterday. That's right. Okay. So will you draw on this slide in case you weren't here yesterday? And if you were, we can do it again. Tell me what is needed to get the volume of this pie-shaped solid. So like pretend like that's a pie that's that thick, a slice of pie, right? Text me draw on your screen, what is the thing that you need for this?
Yeah.
Where did you buy this? Isn't the Kiwani a team or a team?
Next year I'll be a team.
You're almost team.
Mr. P.
Yes.
It's nothing to draw. I try to draw, and the only thing that happens is the little dot where my hand hurts. Let me see. Is it dirty? No. Dirty little dot.
Okay. Kimani, if it doesn't work, you can just side text me what your thought is. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm looking at drawings, and Kylie, good color there. Jayla, good color there too. Okay. So Jayla, tell me about your drawing. I wish I knew a way to put your drawing up on the screen.
You
So
can't do that.
Let me
Don't we do that
try
in
to-
class?
Okay, hey Jayla, hang on just a second. Let me try to put what you put, and if you'll talk about it. Where is it? Let me get in. Oh, I'm on the brain freeze. Okay, so Jayla has a line here in one color. She has a line here in another color, and she has a line here in another color. Will you tell us why you did that?
So the base, I highlighted that in purple, and on the side I wrote base, and then for the height of the base triangle, I put height of the triangle, and then for the longest line, I put green, and I wrote height that connects the two triangles, because and you could connect the base and the height to make the base triangle. Then you would
Okay.
have to multiply that of however high the.
Okay, so let me ask this question, Jayla. So am I using this measure or this measure on the triangle?
Oh, the blue line.
Yeah, you want this for the height of the actual triangle itself, and then this right here, which is what they've given you here. Notice there's a little b. So that's talking about this little triangle, right? So 8 times 9, which is 72. Half of 72. Half of 72, because a triangle is half of a square, right? Or a rectangle. And then 72 would have to be multiplied by this height. And I'm going to tell you right now that the height, this is where we got cut off yesterday. The height is 4. So what is the answer? If you can just draw your answer on your screen now. So on your drawing, if you'll just now over at the side, tell me what's the volume if I gave you the height and told you it was 4, which it would not be 4. That wouldn't make sense. But pretend like it is. So what would your volume be? By the way, if you have a chance to side text me and tell me on GimKit your vote for, do you want to play team mode or boss mode or regular mode today? If you can side text me that before this session's up. If you want to play boss mode or team mode or individual.
Mr. P, how many game kits today? 1 or 2?
We'll start with 1. If you want to play 2, we'll play 2 until the time's up.
Okay.
That'll be your all's call. All right. So did you all get, volume would be half of 72, which is 36, and then 36 times 4, right? And 36 times 4 is what? 36 times 4, is that 144?
Yeah.
Yeah, 144 cubic centimeters. Now, you remember Mason's little brother said it's because it's a prism and there's little individual cubes in here. So could someone volunteer to tell me, well, how am I going to fit cubes in this thing that looks like a slice of pie? How would I put cubes
I'll
in?
do it.
Okay, Graham.
So, it's pretty much almost like you slice them kind of in half and arrange them so that way they fit. That's why we have it in the formula.
Correct. So you would literally stack as many of the cubes in there straight as you could, and then all the spaces you'd have to slice cubes up and stuff them in there, right? Till you filled it totally up. It's just like when we talk about area where you roll out the cookie dough, you stamp out the cookies, you take all the pieces and roll that out and make more cookies. Same thing here. You have to fill it all up with pieces of cubes. That's why the formula is so handy for us, that somebody figured that out, that it works. Who, I don't know. All right. Here's a new one. So this is Michaela's tent. Michaela camps a lot on the side. And Kylie usually helps her out and goes along and helps her set the tent up. And then she says, Michaela says to Kylie, okay, thank you for setting up the tent. Now go home because you can't stay. And Kylie goes, well, thanks a lot. I helped with the work, but you won't let me stay in camp, but whatever. Okay. So here's Michaela's tent. Will you give me the volume of Michaela's tent? Because I clearly think it is big enough if Michaela and Kylie were Barbie dolls that they could both use it. So what is the volume of this triangular prism? You'll notice you've got a bunch of measurements on there. Some are useful, some are not. Some of those numbers you use, some of them you do not. Okay, let me give you a little bit longer. Thank you if you've already answered. Thank you for being patient and let the others answer. If you're on the sideline, please try to answer if you can, please. If you haven't responded, please try to respond.
Hello.
Hello, ET. All right, so somebody who has not talked that would share, that would be great. The first question I want to know is, what is the base of this? Where's the base? Is it the tent floor or is it something else? Which one is the base of the deal? Okay, Jayla. Is the base this? Is the base this? Is the base this? What's the base?
The base is the triangle itself.
All right. She is
because
correct.
it's parallel from the other.
Okay.
Side.
The base is the actual triangle. Why? Because it's a triangular prism. In a triangular prism, the definition of a prism, by the way, is some kind of polygon base with a matching polygon at the other end and rectangles around it. That's the actual definition of a prism. Let me show you what I mean over here on the side, okay? So this could be our base, right? Agree? Here's our other base that matches at the top. Okay, everybody agree with that? And then I literally have 4 rectangles that connect those 2 bases, correct? So a triangle is no different. The triangular one looks like this. And then I connect it here. Are y'all impressed with my mad skills? Okay, so does this look like the tent right here? Yeah, so that means that the base of the tent would be, let me see if I can, this part here, correct? And then back here is the matching top to it, okay? So that's correct. Okay, so I'm gonna undo that last thing, okay. So with that being said, Jayla, walk us through the way to get the volume of this tent.
You have to, let me look. You have to multiply 5 by 4.3.
Why?
Because that's the square part of the triangle.
Okay, so let me write that down. So I would say half of 5 times 4.3, correct? Jayla? Is Jayla there? Okay,
Yeah.
so 4.3 times 5 is 21.5.
Mm-hmm.
And then half of 21.5 is what? 1175?
Are you still on that diet, right?
1175?
Yes.
And then, so that's my big B, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Then what,
then-
Jayla?
Then you have to multiply that by 14
Okay. Why?
because that's the height of like the whole prism.
Yeah. And then when you do 1175 times 14, did you get,
100.
what'd you get?
I got 150.5.
Inches cubed.
Inches cubed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. All right, let's do another one. Clear all drawings. Okay, most of you got that. Okay, thank you. What about this one? Go ahead and tell me what is the volume of this one. And this is the only day we're going to practice these. Monday, we're going to move on to other prisms. And then after Monday, after prisms, we're going to move to cones and spheres and cylinders. Coke cans. Soda cans. Hey, Lincoln, you there? Lincoln Pickle, you there?
Yes.
Okay, I just hadn't heard from you. I wanted to say hi.
Sure. For some reason, my pet keeps kicking me out.
Who said that?
Hermita,
What's kicking you out?
hair deck.
Yeah, Kimani's is too. So I would just say send me on the side a text. Probably things like that happen because so many people are using it that don't normally use it. Probably the user demand. Okay, I'm getting some really big numbers. Hey, Courtney, would you help walk me through this one in a second?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Now, does everybody agree that this prism has 5 faces? 2 faces are triangles, 3 faces are rectangles. The 2 triangles are the same. 2 of the rectangles are the same, but 1 rectangle is different. Right? So the bottom, the thing that's lying on the surface is a rectangle that matches this one. This back one over here is a different rectangle. And then this triangle and this triangle, they are congruent to make up the prism. All right, so let me see what. Ready. I'll try to wrap this up and not run out of time today because we're on our 10-minute countdown. All right, most of you are saying 18,048. No, sorry, 1,848 cubic meters. Okay, so Courtney, on here, would you agree that this triangle is the base?
Yes.
Okay. Would you also agree, Courtney, that 7 times 24 would be the part of the triangle I got to multiply?
Yes.
Okay. And then I half that. So what is 7 times 24 for the base? Big B. So half. That. Uh-oh. This, not that. 24 times 7. Somebody else can join in and give me that answer. 24 times 7. See, 12 times 12 is 144. 24 more. 168. $168 and half that.
I think. Wait.
And then half of 168.
Should it be multiplied 24 times 22?
No, to be 24 times 7.
All right.
See, look, here's why. Because
I thought
this
22 was the other base.
okay, so the triangle is here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got to be 7 times 24 to figure out this triangle, right?
Yeah. Oh, so we're figuring out that triangle. I thought we were jumping right into the area.
No, we have to do this triangle because it's a triangular prism.
Right.
Right. That's why I gave you this one. It's harder. All right.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Sure. So 7 times 24 is that 168. Can somebody verify that?
It is.
Okay. And then what's half of that? 168. 50, 30.
84.
84. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Courtney. Was that you?
No.
Who said that?
Josephine.
Okay. Thank you, Josephine. Okay. So say 84, did you say?
Yeah.
Josephine, did you say 84? All right.
Yes.
And then would everybody agree 84 times 22? And then when I do 84 times 22, what do I get?
1,848.
Like that?
1,848 meters cubed.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. That one should have been a little trickier because again, you got to focus on this here. This is the base. And it's okay, let me undo that. Okay, watch this. Literally. This is the base. Okay, do y'all see what I just did right there? That right triangle is the base, and it's literally half of that pretend rectangle, right? All right, and then half that times 22 tall. All right, so clear it all out. All right, one more. Now, I should have given you this one before that one because your base is highlighted. I got these out of order. This one should have been first. All right, last one. Go ahead and give me the volume of this one. This will be our last one. Now I'm going to look at the side text and see which mode you all said for today.
The sound of an angered cricket.
All right, so on here, I'm getting a lot of 972 cubic centimeters. Okay, Izzy, would you walk us through this one? Izzy.
Okay, I
Okay.
knew the microphone was on mute.
Okay.
But like this keeps kicking me out, so it's like randomly just kicked me out.
What did?
The Pear Deck, like the Zoom.
Okay. But can you see it on the Zoom screen?
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay. So do you see the 9 and the 12 I'm pointing to?
Mm-hmm.
So I got to multiply those together and I get 80. I mean, I get 108.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Half of 108 is 54.
Yeah.
Okay. So my big B volume equals the big B, which in this case is 54 because it's half of the 9 times 12. Times what? Times what, Izzy?
3.14.
Okay, so this is my triangle, and I want to know how tall is my triangle. I mean, the triangle base is this, and how tall is the prism? The prism is 18 centimeters?
18.
Yeah, 18 centimeters. So 54 times 18. 972?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so 972 cubic centimeters, right? So yeah, okay. Does anybody have a question about today's work that you're working on? Be sure you fill out the tech task about if there's anything I need to help you with individually that I can work with you one-on-one. And suggestions for activities that we could do that are not just necessarily academic things. And also, if you have not made your Oreo stacking video, if you'll post that today, because Monday we're going to talk about the numbers and do a little activity with it, okay? So if you have not stacked the Oreos, please do. Okay, any questions about the head puzzles or the vocabulary or the Moby Max or anything? All right, so I'm going to say bye. Remember, there's no school tomorrow. Want us back on GimKit in just a second? Give me a second to get it set up. All right? All right. See you guys in about 5 minutes, okay?
All right, see you.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
So like, like the end of May. Like right now it's